Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is honor for me to give this presentation right here to you. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ayu Swarnasari. Today, we will bring a presentations about use of credit card in e-commerce. This paper was formed by Mrs. Retno Dewanti and Mrs. Medeline Levy from Global Business Marketing Department of Binus Business School, Binus University. Here's our paper to ICCD 2022. Here's today's agenda. We will bring you to introductions, methodology, results and discussions. Then we go to conclusions and suggestions. And the last part is the references. So the expansion of e-commerce in Indonesia is being accompanied by development of credit card-based online payment methods. As we can see, the largest customers in millennial era starts from millennial generations, users from 20 until 29 years old in 2016, and users already changed for 2017 from 17 years old until 40 years old. And then one of the payment methods that almost all in e-commerce in Indonesia has in credit card, but some customers worried about using credit card in terms of negative issues like security and privacy. In contrast to the privacy risk, which is quite risky and frequently rejected, consumers see the usefulness and convenience that credit card can provide in e-commerce that other payment methods cannot do. Promos cannot be obtained. For example, like if we make payments with certain credit cards are part of the efforts of e-commerce and credit card providers to increase credit card penetrations in making online payments. And then the amount of promos differs depending on the type of credit card and provider, and then cashbacks promotions on specific dates or special days in collaborations with the credit card provider are example of the promotion provided by credit card providers through the e-commerce. To strengthen the phenomenon, experimental research was conducted, which revealed that 62 respondents who had shopped at e-commerce, 26% wanted to use credit card because the payment method was simple to use, and then 71% used a credit card because of the benefits that can be obtained from using credit card. Credit in electronic commerce, although the only 25% of respondents have experienced fraud on behalf of banks. It turns out that respondents' level of concern about using credit card online in e-commerce is still quite high, with a 79% expressing the concern. So here's the picture and that to the benefits and also the fraud on behalf banks. And then next to we have the methodology. So the method that we already use in this paper is SAM-PLS. The method is the additionals method in the factor analysis is used to determine the most important indicators, and the information was gathered through the online survey using a Google form, which was distributed to millennials who had used a credit card as a payment method in e-commerce. So here's the diagram shows that the red arrows indicate that there is no significant relationship between variables, namely between perceived ease of use and trust and perceived security and intentions to use variable. While 6 relationships between other variables shows a significant relationship. So in the meditations analysis using SAM-PLS, it can be seen that intentions to use is not able to mediate the relationship between perceived security and actual system use. And intentions to use is unable to mediate the relationship between perceived security and actual system use. While the intentions to use variable start playing other mediating role. Trust and perceived usefulness can be said to mediate the relationship between variables. So here's our conclusions and suggestions. The first part is the research showing that there is an effect of perceived ease of use on perceived usefulness in millennials who have made payments in e-commerce using credit card partly. Second part is influence perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use, and then trust in millennials who have made payments in e-commerce using credit cards simultaneously. The third part is there is an influence and perceived usefulness and trust and perceived security in intentions to use. Millennials who have made payments in e-commerce using credit cards simultaneously also have a partial relationship to intentions to use except for the perceived security variable. It shows that there is an influence of trust and intentions to use millennials who have made payments in e-commerce using credit cards partially. And next, there's an effect of intentions to use an actual system used for millennials who have partially made payments in e-commerce using credit cards. And the last part is the perceived usefulness variable is able to mediate the relationship. Means the result that shows the perceived usefulness variable is able to mediate the relationship between perceived of ease of use and trust and is a perfect mediating variable. And we have two conclusions itself. This the first one is the trust variable is not the mediating variable on the relationship between perceived ease of use and intentions to use, and the trust variable is able to mediate the relationship between perceived security and intentions to use and the perfect mediating variable. And then the last part is the intentions to use variable was able to mediate the relationship between perceived usefulness and trust with actual system use and was partial mediating variable for the two relationship. So here's our references. If you would like to more information, here's our list of useful resource or website. And then I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today. Thank you for your interest and attention. So let me close this presentation with one of the best quotes, like online payment will continue to play an ever-growing and significant role in development of e-commerce as well as the stimulations of consumers' demands. That's all for me. Thank you and see you to next paper.